The Go Fast Racing League is on the air with the Grand National Series, and the long week at Texas continues as we go racing in the Xfinity cars for the second time this week with this league. I'm back again with my broadcast partner from last night, Mr. Scott Brinton. Scott, how are you doing tonight?
Good, Sam. How you doing tonight here on this most prestigious WrestleMania weekend?
I'm doing very good, thank you. It's going to be a good race tonight. I'm looking forward to this. It's been 3 weeks since we last broadcast a race with these guys, so it's going to be interesting to see how these guys get back into it after such a long break and get back back hard racing again. Bit short for words right now. I'm only live on Facebook right now. For some reason YouTube's not working, but here we are on Facebook. Good hello to people on Facebook. Good to see you all. But that it is how it is. We'll just deal with it for now. Anyway, Scott, Xfinity Cars, Go Fast Racing League. What are your expectations for tonight?
Last time I was here with Pat about 3 weeks ago or so, we were at Auto Club, and we had a hell of a race there, man. These guys put on a great show, and I'm expecting a little bit of the same here tonight. Texas Motor Speedway, we saw a race here last night. We only had 5 cautions. They put on a good show. That was over at Somo, and I expect Go Fast to follow it up tonight with another good performance here at Texas Motor Speedway.
Absolutely, as we are just over 3 minutes to go before qualifying begins. They've had a pretty long session here tonight, with a surprise leader at the top of the standings. We've got Mark Nadeau at the top of the standings. Let's put your results up there. Mark Nadeau at the top of the standings there with a 32,000 of a second lead over a returning Todd Cray. Not seen him since Daytona. Well, I haven't anyway. He's sitting in second. Tyler Cox sitting there in third place. Joe Burchett is in fourth. Derek Pemberton is there in fifth. Brian Littleton sixth. Michael Trevathan seventh. Joshua Banks sits there in eighth. Jeff Wubka is in ninth. Carl Hayes, that's it. I think I got it right. Carl Hayes is in 10th. Lee Granty is in 11th. Jeff Schmidt is in 12th. Dylan Vose is in 13th. 14th is Jeremy Rigney. 15th is Austin Marion. 16th is Stephen Parks. 17th, a new name here tonight, Brandon Coleman. He's out there in the pack. Eric Minch sits there in 18th. 19th is Craig Hawkins. Running out the top 20 is Skylar Allen. We have 2 more out there. They are Sean Lejeune sitting in 21st, and in 22nd place is Robert Dudley. Let's go to our live action before we go to qualifying. Take the results down.
Got about a minute and a half left here in practice before we go to qualify.
Absolutely, as we're seeing the Todd Cray took a couple of weeks off due to a personal situation, but he's back now. He's picked up where he left off back at Daytona. He's sitting second in fast lap standings. I'm not sure if you've seen him before, Scott, but yeah, he's the reigning Truck Series champion, and hoping to prove a point out here in the Xfinity cars tonight.
Yeah, I'm actually a couple of weeks ago I was telling Pat about it that I wasn't too familiar with most of the drivers here in the league. I know about 3 or 4 of the names that I'm familiar with in the field tonight, and the rest of them, it's all new to me, so I'm learning as we go. So I don't know who's fast and who's relatively fast and all that good stuff, so I'm learning with everybody else.
Yeah, and we should have a very, very good race night. And then, yeah, you'll get used to the drivers as we go along. I mean, it took me a couple of weeks before I got used to them, but yeah, we get used to them eventually. And Yeah, they're very good drivers. We've seen them week in, week out do what they do best, and that's run a very good race. I missed a couple of weeks myself. I was out on vacation, as everybody already knows, and missed a couple of weeks. I have actually missed this league. I actually enjoyed commentating for the first couple of weeks, and then had to go away, and then I'm back now anyway, and we're getting ready for a decent qualifying session, which is coming up right now. Checker flag is out. Who do you reckon's going to get this in qualifying, Scott?
It could be any of those guys, man. I was just going to touch base on the fact that 5 races leading up to this point, we've had 5 different winners. At Daytona, it was David Worrell. At Atlanta, it was Tyler Cox. At Las Vegas, it was Bose. At Phoenix, it was Joe Burchett. And the last time we were here at Auto Club on March 16th, it was Joshua Banks. So 5 races, 5 different winners. It could be anybody tonight, man. There's a bunch of guys in the field that have a shot here tonight, and it's going to be a matter of who takes care of the tires if we have long green flag runs, as you saw last night.
Yeah, absolutely. As we're looking at Jeff Webker making his way out on track to start his qualifying run. Some times coming in already. We've got Austin Marion, who's already put a time down with a 40.204. Not relative times, really, because they're all on outlaps. Let's put the qualifying times up as they are right now. There they are.
Well, what? Everyone's out there on their outlap. Let's run over the points real quick. Coming into tonight, Michael Trevathan is your points leader. He's got a 7-point lead over Tyler Cox, who's in second. Jeff Schmidt's in third. Brian Littleton fourth. Joe Burchett fifth. David Worrell sixth. Skylar Allen Sr. seventh. Austin Marion is tied for eighth with Dylan Bose, and Jeff Woopker rounds out the top 10, and Woopker is 41 points back.
Okay, as we are slowly getting through qualifying, Todd Craig currently sitting at the top of the standings there with a 29.970. What a comeback he's having. Jeremy Rigney is there in second place, Brian Littleton third, Mark Nadeau sitting in fourth, just been displaced by Michael Trevathan. He is just moved up to fourth place. Mark Nadeau now being dropped to fifth. But yeah, the points battle is pretty interesting there, Scott. A lot of different winners and a lot of different people running at the front, so not expecting much different here tonight.
Yeah, well, anything could happen out there as well. You got to take into consideration the crashes and the cautions that we're going to have, so anything and everything can happen at that. But yeah, have to wait and see what happens. It's a long race here tonight.
It is a long race here tonight, as we have,
as you know, Sam, these sim races, and you can sit here all night long in the pre-race and try to predict things, and then you start the sim race, and then everything usually goes out the window in the first 10 minutes.
Absolutely, as we've got Todd Craig back out on track there in the number 21, just coming into pit road now. We've got just over 2 minutes left. Let's go over the conditions here tonight. A very even cooler than last night, Scott. We've got 65 degrees ambient air temperature, which leaves us a track temperature of 91 degrees Fahrenheit. Humidity is 31% with a wind speed, get this, 12 miles per hour. So there's going to be a crosswind out there tonight.
Yeah, definitely. That's a heavy crosswind. That's not just a crosswind. That's for iRacing. That's one of the bigger wind conditions that I've ever seen.
Absolutely.
See how that plays a role here tonight.
Absolutely.
I know I race open wheel cars, and the more wind there is, the more the car pushes. So I'm just wondering how that calculates to these NASCARs. If it's the same thing, more wind, it just pushes more, or if it makes it loose. I would think it would make it push more.
Yeah, it's gonna be tricky to drive out there with that wind. Not to mention how slippy it's going to be with how cold the track is, and it's going to be it's quite humid out there as well. So we've got a plethora of different things going out there weather-wise. Even with the sun out, it's not that warm. So strange Texas weather here tonight. Going to be certainly interesting to see tonight. We've seen some interesting races here at Texas this week. We had another league that we broadcast, which is Southern Motorsports. Both of those races, very, very, very good and very competitive. And we expect no different here tonight as we're looking at Todd Cray here on pit road. I'm expecting. Well, I'll keep going over expectations, but I'm expecting a pretty damn good race here tonight.
Yeah, if you remember last night, we were sitting there, thinking that the race was going to be treacherous because everybody was in practice going out there and losing it off the corner, both 2 and 4. And once they started racing, we didn't see any of that. And here tonight, I didn't really see any issues in practice, but who knows when this thing gets going. That, and you never know what some of the drivers are going to do as well, so that always plays a huge role.
Absolutely. As the qualifying is now over, let's take the track conditions down. And let's go over our grid for tonight's race. Starting on the front row, we have Tyler Cox with an unofficial lap record of 29.843. He'll be joined by Todd Cray. On row 2 will be row 2. Where are you? There. Will be Joe Burchett and Joshua Banks. Row 3 will be Lee Granty and Jeremy Rigney. Row 4 will consist of Carl Hayes and Brian Littleton. Row 5 will consist of Michael Trevathan and Mark Nadeau. Scott.
Dylan Vose will start 11th. Austin Marion starts 12th. Robert Dudley 13th. Robert Hill Jr. will roll off at 14th. Derek Pemberton 15th. Jeff Schmidt 16th. Sean Lejeune starts 17th tonight. Skyler Allen Sr. starts 18th. Jeff Woopker 19th. Brandon Coleman 20th. Craig Hawkins 21st, Eric Minch 22nd, and Stephen Parks rounds out this field of 23.
So a very interesting field here tonight. 23 cars ready to take the green. We're watching Todd Cray there, but we should really be watching Tyler Cox, who is there on the front row, starting from the pole tonight. Let's put our ticker scroll up and our top 3. Tyler Cox has been strong all season. Starting from the strongest point possible here tonight. We've got the roof as our pace car tonight, which is a very enjoyable car to see out there in that oval. I've always liked that roof out there. I'm not sure about anybody else.
I'm the same way. That's why Top Fuel Racing uses it. I liked it too when it was around. It was a nice change.
Yeah, you used it at the special race at Michigan with the IR18s, and I was very pleasantly surprised to see it out there.
Oh, you didn't know that? Yeah, we've been using that since they released it. When they tried to switch it back, they gave you the option that you could change the pace car, I think, after one build. And we've been using it ever since. Yeah, it's our weekly pace car.
It's a shame they won't let you use the dirt truck out there, but it is what it is, I suppose.
Maybe enough people write in about it. Maybe they'll make an adjustment there to where you can.
Yeah, maybe.
Get us going, Sam. Here we go.
Okay, as they make their way through 3 and 4, they are backing off behind the pace car. Pace car is about 3 or 4 car lengths ahead of them, so they're getting ready for this start. Not many cars on the outside line for this start, so going to be interesting for the guys further back as the pace car peels off, and we're ready to go.
Green flag, green flag.
And away we go! 134 laps here at Texas Motor Speedway, and this is the Go Fast Racing League Grand National Series. Tyler Cox getting off to a very decent start, but Todd Craig going with him. Very decent on that outside line, making it work already. Joe Burchett is there in 3rd place right behind him. And Lee Grandy, very surprised up there in the top 5. He's there in 4th.
Everybody just trying to find their position on the track right now. We're flirting with 3 wide back here about mid-pack. I don't know if that's a good idea here at Texas.
Not at all. As we're looking back at Austin Marion, he's right there behind Dylan Vose. Austin Marion has had good runs, but not much luck this season, so he's looking to get a decent run tonight. Let's have a look at one of the new guys. That will be Brandon Coleman. He's back there in the 302 Mountain Dew machine. This is literally the newest guy out there in the field. If you were a rookie in these kind of fields, what would you expect? What would you be expected to do, and what expectations would you have coming into a race like this?
If I was a rookie just learning how to drive these cars, I would probably just hang in the back and just get my feet under me for the first few laps and, get rolling and then take it from there. Get comfortable. That's finding a comfort zone is always the most important thing to me at the start of a race.
Absolutely. As we go back to our leader, Tyler Cox, what have you seen?
Just contact. It's like we've already had a couple cars. One car bounced off the wall. Had a couple others knocking into each other. We're 3 wide back here coming across the stripe. Now
we got a wreck. We got a wreck.
We got one flip big time on the first stretch.
That's Jeremy Rigney flipping through the infield. We've got 2 more cars that have stopped. That's Jeff Schmidt in the 61. And, yeah, Jeremy Rigney going for one hell of a ride there. Robert Dudley, the other one. Let's go and have a look at Jeremy Rigney's incident. Let's go back about 20 seconds. That should do it. No, another 20 seconds should do it. There they are. We've got another one. We had another one spinning in the background on the backstretch. But here's Jeremy Rigney going through turns 3 and 4. Schmidt on his outside. And 3 wide. And the door closed too soon. Schmidt getting in the middle of it. Oh, wow. That's a weird glitch.
It was, wasn't it? I was thinking the same thing. I've never seen that where the car bounces backwards like that. That's a first for me. I've seen a lot of crashes here on iRacing, but I ain't seen that one.
No, car just bouncing back off the wall and flipping all over the place. That was a very strange one.
They'd been flirting for about a lap that they were going to get together like that, and finally, enough touchy-feely, and finally somebody ate it.
Absolutely, as we've got 3 cars now with severe damage, especially Jeremy Rigney. Still able to keep it rolling, but he's going to have a lot of pit farming to do as this race goes on. Robert Dudley is another one that's had some serious issues. Jeff Schmidt, not so much damage. He's bringing it down pit road now. He's going to have some minor bodywork damage after bumping and banging with the other cars and spinning out like he did. But everybody down...
Yeah,
well, not everybody down pit road.
There are no fast repairs here, so anybody that got damage in that will definitely have to sit on pit road and either get it fixed or just call it an evening. But I think those 2 guys that went through the grass, their damage is going to be minimal. They may have a little bit of heavy contact there just from, all the contact that was made, but the 11's definitely probably going to be done for the evening.
Absolutely. As we're looking at Robert Hill Jr., one of the guys I know and one of my good old friends there from... he runs with us in Phenomenal Evolution Racing, the endurance team, so I know Robert Hill Jr. very well, and I know how much of a capable driver he is. Sitting back there in 11th place, not gone in with the leader, so having a decent running in the mid-pack there for the first couple of laps. We'll be interested to see how he does as this race progresses. Meanwhile, back at the front, Tyler Cox is in first. Joe Burchett has managed to get past Todd Cray during that green flag run. He's in 2nd place. Todd Cray sits in 3rd. Now, let's go to... well, actually, the pace car lights are off already. It's another quick caution, Scott.
Yeah, same thing happened last night on the first caution. Short caution.
Absolutely. As we're,
they cut it by a lap.
Just eager. It's the race controllers up there on the flag stand, just eager to get this race going again, and I can understand why. It's been an interesting start so far, and we want to see more racing out of this.
Yep, let's keep it green. I want to go back to watching the WWE Hall of Fame. It's WrestleMania weekend, folks.
I mean, Texas is the next state over from Louisiana, isn't it? So,
yeah, it's technically in the region.
Yeah.
I know there's some wrestling fans out there that are going to watch this broadcast.
Oh, yeah. But just remember, we are only live on Facebook tonight as the pace car peels off. Technical issues on the Facebook side, YouTube side, as Tyler Cox gets them going. Joe Burchett goes with him, and on the outside is Michael Trevathan. He goes with them too. He moves up to 3rd place ahead of Todd Cray. Todd Cray not getting off to the best of restarts there.
What a start that the leader got, man. The 14 just shot out of there like he was launched out of a cannon. Everybody else looked like they were just sitting still. Whoa, we got a snake going on down the backstretch there. I don't know what that was all about.
Yeah, let's go back and have a look at that. That was involving Skylar Allen. He's being passed right now by the 27 of Sean Lejeune. He's got Brandon Coleman to his outside too. Brandon Coleman really taking it to the big guys out there. Oh, very close to the wall. Take it easy, Brandon. It's only your first race.
Yeah, I've seen a few guys flirting with that wall early on in this race. I've seen a couple guys make contact. The 61 that was involved in that first caution, he got into the wall. He was the first car I saw into the wall. So, yeah, the wall's going to be an issue tonight for some of these guys.
Yeah, it's just that double dogleg nature of the tri-oval. It's going to catch some people out. It caught, who was it? It was Len McNeese out last night and took out one of the leaders. So it's very dangerous, that double dogleg, and you just need to be careful going through there. We're watching Todd Crane now. He's under pressure from Lee Granty. People still jostling it out on that backstretch. Really racing each other hard in the early run into this race as Lee Grandy has the inside line on Todd Cray. Can't quite get there as Todd Cray is trying to get a run on Michael Trevarthen. I'm sure that was Martin Nady that we just saw on the inside there. He is. He's fighting with Dylan Vose right now, with Brian Littleton in that number 80 behind him.
All these guys just doing battle right now, trying to get everything they can while these tires are fresh. Yeah. That's what poor Mr. Feelgood's will do to people, man. Make them feel brave for a few laps.
Absolutely, and there's no stages in this series. Just want to remind you, there's no stages in this, so it's just straight racing from here to lap 134. So if you want to beat them, you got to do it straight out on the track. There's no breaks in between, and they're certainly showing that tonight with the way they're racing. And the caution tag. Oh, huge wreck coming out of turn 4.
I just about to say, if these guys keep racing the way they've been racing, we're going to get another caution. And there it is.
Hey, what's going on, guys? We don't see the broadcast on YouTube.
Yeah, we're having technical difficulties, but we are live on Facebook as well. So
10-4, thanks.
All right. Just reiterating there as we see Brandon Coleman having issues there coming out of turn 4 and bringing out the caution. We are having technical issues on the YouTube side of things, but we are live on Facebook. So if you want to watch this live and uninterrupted, please go over to Facebook, to the Beaufort Broadcasting Company Facebook page, and we will be there. We are also shared on all of the good iRacing groups. So if you go down to the groups like iRacing Drivers World, iRacing Drivers Lounge, Sim Racing Broadcasters and Fans, we are there too, so do not worry. We are live, just can't get on YouTube right now. Scott, interesting incident between Brandon Kaufman and a ton of other drivers.
Yeah, I didn't go back and look at that one, I'm sorry.
No, it's fine. It's just the rookie getting into trouble already this evening.
Yeah, with the way they were racing it up, man, and I'm not just talking about a couple guys, I'm talking about the majority of the field. I was expecting, you were talking about stages there, and yeah, I was just going to say that we're probably going to get short stages tonight if these guys are going to race like this, because we're going to keep getting cautions. I mean, a lot of guys are just bombing it in there, guys are making contact left and right. It's a little early to be racing that hard. I mean, we're scheduled for 130 some odd laps, we're on lap 15.
Yeah, and we've got people coming into pit road now for this run. We've got the leaders coming in. We've got Tyler Cox there, Joe Burchett, Todd Cray, Lee Granty. Everybody coming down pit road for this pit stop now. Let's go to the pit cam, hopefully.
And you saw last night what happens with old tires. So, guys, they got a few laps on the tires, but the fall off here at Texas happens fast. So, these guys are definitely going to have a significant disadvantage once we get rolling here.
Yeah, Joe Burchett winning the race off pit road by the looks of things. He got one hell of a slide coming out of pit road, and he actually beat Tyler Cox by a nose. over that line coming out of pit road. So Joe Burchett comes out first, but your new leader in this race is Dylan Vose. He's there right behind the pace car.
He's coming to pit road now. So is Skylar Allen. So the 27, Sean Lejeune, should be showing us the leader here.
Absolutely.
Looks like he's going to stay out too.
I can't help but think that the old tyres thing is going to come into play there, as my ATVOs decided to go bad as well now. So technical problems all around here tonight.
Oh wow. Just one of them nights.
Oh yeah. Don't worry, I'll get it back. Just takes a while, that's all.
We believe in you, Sam.
I know.
We believe.
Sticking to the WrestleMania theme, eh?
That's it.
Now, let's go back to the racing action as we've got the overlay back up on screen for you now. Sean Lejeune is our leader, with Joe Burchett sticking to second place, with Tyler Cox there in third.
Whether 27 will come down this time or if he'll stay out.
I can't say for sure.
I think he'd stay out. Yeah, I think he would stay out here at this point. He is. So yeah, this will be an issue. We saw last what happens when you stay out on ancient tires, but now we'll get an idea of what it's like to stay out on about 5 lap old tires.
Yeah, we saw last night in the other league we broadcast. Not really wise to stay out on old tires, and the person with those old tires really paid the price. But tonight, hopefully,
yeah, those were really old. Those had like 20 some odd laps on them, so that was a questionable call. But Joe Burchett, he made that questionable call when we were here last time a few weeks ago. He stayed out for some reason on the final caution, and he paid the price as well, so he knows all about that. So if there was somebody that was definitely coming down pit road, it was the 41 that time. So now the 27's in that role, but a lot earlier in the race.
Absolutely, we're only 17 laps in. They will be going green again on lap 18. Scott, you get them going this time.
10-4, brother. Time to get them going again. Hard cautions here tonight at Texas if you're just tuning in. We've had some technical difficulties. If you're looking for us on YouTube and you found us on Facebook, welcome to the race. Here we go. Pace car pulls off. And the 27th waiting, and there he goes. He got a decent start. It wasn't too bad.
Yeah,
I still think he's going to ultimately get eaten up here in just a second. But he didn't spin him too bad. The 41, he couldn't really get going there, so opened the door for the 14. And the 14 moves back around the 41.
Yeah, and here goes Tyler Cox. Oh, sorry for Sean Lejeune. He's about to get freight train. There goes Tyler Cox, Burchett, and now Trevarthen. Here comes Todd Cray. He's going to be the next one to take away that position. Unlucky for Sean Lejeune, getting absolutely mauled right there. Tyler Cox, your leader once again. And maybe it's not the best decision to stay out on old tyres.
He's doing his best right now. It's once he gets some temperature in him, they may hang on a little bit here. But looks like they're going to freight train him again here.
Absolutely.
So yeah, any kind of laps on the tires are not going to be good to stay out. He had a handful.
As here comes Joe Burchett. He's going to try and take that lead back. He's got the inside line coming out of turn 4, going into the tri-oval. He's there. He's on that preferred bottom line right now as they go into turn 1 and 2. Joe Burchett is our new leader of the race. And yeah, very good move there by the 41. Michael Trevarthen is back there in third place. He fancies his chances too, with Todd Cray there in 4th place.
Yeah, and everybody back there is trying to dodge the 27 right now. Them old tires. Let me tell you what. Well, we got one spinning.
That would be that
whoever it was saved it. I think it was Wooper in the 09.
Yeah, Jeff Webkus getting a really scary moment there coming out of turn 4.
I think he got some help on that deal. The whole back of the car is beat in, so I'm guessing he might have got a little help there.
As he has Jeff Schmidt right behind him and Austin Marion making their way through turns 3 and 4. No such dramas this time round as he's also closing down Dylan Vose. Let's go back to the battle for the lead as Tyler Cox has got the inside of Joe Burchett now as they come out of turn 2. Side by side on the backstretch. It's just going to be a drag race up to turn 3. And it looks like Joe Burchett's going to win this one.
Yeah, but I don't think we've heard the end of it from the 14. Here he comes again, reloading the pistol, trying to get back up here on the bumper. He's coming back. He's not going to throw in the towel. Ooh, look at that. He put 2 wheels in the grass. I don't know if digging in the bag of Earnhardt tricks is going to work.
Not at all as they make their way through turns 1 and 2. Tyler Cox has got the inside line. Got a better run this time coming out of turn 2. Drag racing again down the back stretch. He's got a nose in front. And he actually... Is he going to make a stick? He's got a wheel on the apron.
That white line.
Yeah, he's got his wheel on the apron.
You don't want to get down there.
And he actually made his stick.
The white line is not your friend.
No, not at all. As he made his stick. Michael Trevarthen is under pressure from 2 cars behind him. That'll be Joshua Banks and Todd Cray. Joshua Banks has got that inside line on Cray. Got to try and get round the number 21. Trevarthen is not in the clear either.
We're wrecking. We're wrecking.
Oh, not again.
I think it was the 4.
And that is Carl Hayes. Let's go back and see what happened.
Yeah,
he got it loose coming out of turn 2. Got it collected up again, but it still brought out the caution. So, interesting decision by the race controllers there to bring out the caution.
Well, he was completely sideways and traffic was coming. That's why it looked like he was going to go back up into the groove of traffic as well. But he did a great job of getting that thing up underneath him. Lost a whole bunch of spots, but the car's not all tore up and on the hook. So that's a win situation right there.
Absolutely, as we got Tyler Cox there still in the lead. Let's go and grab somebody to bring down to the booth.
And they actually gave the 4 a bunch of spots back, so he really didn't lose a whole lot of ground on that deal because he got about 4 spots back.
Yeah, interesting developments here. Joe Burchett has stayed out and Tyler Cox has dove it down into pit road. Split strategies here between the 2 guys. Oh, as Schmidt goes through the grass, he's going to get... Oh, he's just spun! Oh! That's not good. Carl Hayes getting spun in pit road by Jeff Schmidt.
Uh-oh.
That's not going to go down well with race control at all. Let's go back another...
Pit road shenanigans.
Absolutely. And they are coming down pit road. Schmidt gets it all wrong. Must have had a stuck throttle or something because he blew through pit road at a high rate of speed, couldn't get it slowed down and just pile drove into the back of Carl Hayes. Carl Hayes just not having a good run right now. Meanwhile, back at the front, we've got Joe Burchett out there in the lead. Skylar Allen sits in second. Michael Trevarthen has beat Tyler Cox out of pit road. Tyler Cox must have had some kind of problem because he's dropped to 9th now. So something's happened while we were focusing on the incident between Schmidt and Hayes.
And now Burchett's going to pit road, so that's interesting.
Yeah, that's going to leave. That's going to leave Trevarthen in the lead now, with Joshua Banks sitting in second.
That's interesting. Pit strategy.
Absolutely. Just want to repeat one more time, guys, that we are experiencing technical difficulties on the YouTube side of things, so we are not going to be live on YouTube tonight. There will be a pre-recorded upload later on YouTube, so you can go back and watch it if you want to, but tonight we are live on Facebook and Facebook only. It has been shared around all the good groups on Facebook, so if you want to check us out live, either go to the Beaufort Broadcasting page or go to one of the groups in one of the dedicated iRacing groups in Facebook, and you will find us there. Just 27 laps into 134. We've got 2 cautions.
And just going back to look at that incident on pit road, yeah, that definitely looks like race control will be having some words with those guys. I think they'll be being called to the hauler. As a matter of fact, one of the drivers was removed from the race.
Would that be Jeff
That'd be
Schmidt?
Carl.
Carl Hayes and Jeff Schmidt have both been removed. So they're both now offline. They've been put behind the wall by race control. So race control not pulling any punches tonight.
Fireworks in Texas tonight.
Yeah, and it's not even the 4th of July.
No, but it's WrestleMania weekend. That was a pile driver if I've seen one here on pit road recently.
Absolutely, as we are now 1 to green once again. Michael Trevathan is going to lead them down to the green flag with Joshua Banks on his outside. I'm not sure if Joshua Banks and Trevathan were expected to be at the front after...
I'm still wondering about the 41's pit strategy there. I'm not sure what was why he decided to pit the lap late and fall to the tail end of the field.
All right, Scott, get us going again.
Here we go. Pace car pulls off. We're ready to go again. The 2's going to get us going this time. Our points later, Trevathan. And he gets us going. Green flag. 36, bit of a slow start there. 21 dives in, trying to get that 3rd place spot. Some new faces in the front of the field.
Yeah, and that's Joshua Banks in the lead there. No, that's Trevathan in the lead there. Joshua Banks in second. Trevathan. Either way.
There you go. I'll butcher it all night.
Todd Cray is in 3rd place, but he's under pressure again by Lee Grandy. These guys can't seem to be separate from each other all night so far tonight.
See that run to 36, just he had to get off over there. He would have slammed right into the back of the 2. The 2 is under all kinds of pressure right now.
Absolutely, as here he comes. Joshua Banks trying that outside line. Trevathan's going to give it to him by the looks of things because he's got no speed on that backstretch. Joshua Banks is our new leader tonight, and here comes Todd Cray as well. He's going to try that outside line on Trevathan too. Something wrong with that number 2 car tonight.
Yeah, I'm not sure what's going on right now, but he's having a hard time getting some speed out of that thing right now. He's going to be under attack by the 21 and the rest of these guys here as we go into turn 1. That 21 goes up high side. Whoa! I thought they were going to drift into each other there. Yeah, good job by the 40 to get out of it.
That's Martin Nadeau almost getting into the back of Lee Grandy there. Making a move on the 29 now. He's got the inside line, and look at Tyler Cox. He's coming through as well. Can't stop that guy coming through at this point. He's had that incident on pit road, and just like what we saw last night, we've got guys coming through the field again.
Yeah, that's what Burchett's trying to do right now. He's worked his way up to 11th. But a lot of traffic to get back to the front of the field.
Yeah, we've seen in the past that Joe Burchett is not afraid to pass people, though. He started at the back of the field. I think it was Las Vegas he started at the back and fought all the way up to the front. Eventually finished second, I believe it was, and he was our driver of the night that night. But he's going to have it tough this time round. He's got Sean Lejeune on his outside. Robert Hill Jr. and Brian Littleton are there as well, and they're almost 2 by 2 as Brian Littleton trying to look for that inside line on Robert Hill Jr. looking for that inside line on Brian Littleton, with Joe Burchett also looking on the inside line on Sean Lejeune. Austin Marion just there behind him as well.
Tyler Cox just moved into 4th place as the 2 continues to fall back. He restarted this restart 1st place, and now he is falling back to 5th place. So our points leader is fading back a little bit here on this restart.
Absolutely, and he's falling back into the hands of Lee Grandy. Lee Grandy fancies his chances at this 4th place spot. Top 5, sorry, tonight. He's had an impressive qualifying run. Can he have an impressive race run? And the answer is yes. He's got the inside line on the number 2. Is the number 2 going to be able to put up some kind of fight? He's not been able to fight anybody so far. As we go to Tyler Cox, he's got the inside line on Martin Nadeau. Going through the triumph or the double dog leg, as I've already mentioned. Gets the clear going into turn 1, and Tyler Cox is already back into the top 3 after restarting in 9th place.
And Tyler Cox comes into tonight's second, the points, 7 points back. Trevathan And he's looking to take that points lead here, and a victory would definitely help him do that, especially with the two fading back and losing spot after spot as we continue on here.
Yeah, let's go back to the 2, and he's still under pressure from Lee Grandy and Dylan Vose as well. Brian
they're having to check up not to run him over. The 29 just lost his spot there because he had to check up again not to hit him in the rear.
Yeah,
so he's cost some time on the track.
That's Dylan Vose moving up into the top 6 now, getting around Lee Grandy after they've had, as you already said, they've had to check up to avoid the number 2 car, as there goes Vose again on the inside of Trevathan. And Dylan Vose is another one that's won a race this season. He knows what it's like to pass people. So here's another one coming through the field. A lot of people doing exceptionally well tonight. Tyler Cox, still impressed by his run already. Got popped back to 9th place, already back up to 3rd. Joshua Banks still holding on to that lead with Todd Cray a few car lengths behind. Actually, he's over a second behind now, which is even further.
Yeah, something tells me that the 14 is going to be making a pass here on second place here in just a minute. And then he's going to set sail and try to get the 36 in his sights here. 36 trying to run away with this thing, but here he comes. Here comes the 14 taking a look. Wants to move into that second spot.
Keeps getting that wheel on that apron. I'm just hoping it doesn't
touch that white line.
Yeah, it keeps. I'm hoping that it doesn't catch him out, because that white line will catch you out if you're not careful.
He just can't seem to get the momentum up off the corner now.
Yeah, I mean, if he gets those wheels down,
21's holding a good line.
Yeah, if he gets those wheels down on that apron again, it'll spin him round like an RKO out of nowhere. It's WrestleMania weekend. I've got to. Sorry.
That's right. Probably gonna hear a bunch more for this race is over, folks.
And there he comes on the inside, hitting that 21 like he's hitting him with a choke slam on that inside, going for the tri-oval. Not going to get the speed on that coming out of turn 4, and Todd Cray lives to fight another day.
See how long these guys can battle it up here and not wear out their tires and not allow this whole big group of guys back here stalking them to catch up, and then they got their hands full at that point. Got 6 cars back there just waiting for these guys to burn up their tires.
Speaking of people with their hands full,
look at Burchett. He's one of them back there.
Yeah, as Michael Trevathan has also now fallen back to 8th place, but he's trying to put a move back on Joe Burchett. He's got that inside line. Somehow managed to find a bit of speed on that car, hitting the white line just like Tyler Cox was. Not working to his advantage.
White line's not helping him. No, it's not. It's slowing these guys down. It's causing them to lose their momentum. They got to stay off that white line. And we just lost a couple more drivers in this race. Sean Lejeune, Derek Pemberton have both taken it behind the wall.
Oh, wow. So we've got people dropping like flies, but unlucky for them. We'll see them next week when we go to, I believe it's Bristol.
Let me take a peek.
I think it's Bristol next week. Oh, we've got Nadeau in the wall.
Yes.
Mark Nadeau hit the wall on an exit of turn 2. That's going to cost him some speed as they go into turns 3 and 4. That's going to help Joe Burchett catch up to him.
And you are correct, Sam. It is Bristol next week.
Wow, it's going to be another interesting race for them as Lee Grandy finally gets around Michael Trevathan. Michael Trevathan now falling to 9th place. So
he dropped like a stone in the ocean on this run.
Yeah, the driver of that number 2 not having a good time in this second run on those new. Well, they're not really Mr. Feel Goods. They're Mr. Feel Bads right now.
Yeah, they are, and he's losing points with every position he loses. So that's hurting right now. He's watching the points lead slip away with every position he loses, with the 14 going forward and him going backwards.
Speaking of the 14, he's got the inside line on Todd Cray again. Still not able to make it stick as he got 2 wheels on that white line again. Not the best of strategies there, Tyler. He's still... And he does it again. He's really, really using that white line going for those corners.
And it's not working. Look at that. Look how much momentum he lost. And now he falls back, what, about 2-3 car lengths? So that white line's not working for him. I know sometimes these guys use that white line to help the car turn, but it's not working tonight. It's not helping.
Not at all as they come out of turn 2. Trying to get a run back on Todd Cray, but it's still a bit far back as he dive bombs it into turns 3 and 4. Gets the white line again. Manages to keep his momentum this time.
Slide job, and he had to get out of it.
Absolutely.
He's trying though. He hadn't given up yet. He hadn't thrown in the white towel.
We know this about Tyler Cox. He's a trier, and he's definitely trying now to get around that number 21. Todd Cray really doing well to hold on to that P2, and this is only helping Joshua Banks to get away. He's already 1.8 seconds to the good over Tyler Cox, who's now finally looks like he's about to get the clear on the 21.
Oh. He's almost lost it there again. Look at that.
And I did say that white line was going to catch him like an RKO out of nowhere, so...
And it almost did right there, man.
Yeah.
Wow. He countered it.
As he's fallen back to another 3 car lengths behind Tyler Cox. Let's go back to Dylan Vose, who's now under pressure from a flying Joe Burchett, so... It won't be long before Joe Burchett is up to the back of Dylan Vose, because we've seen Joe Burchett before go through the pack like this, and he's just proven it again. He's not afraid to fight people if necessary.
Oh, we just had another one officially retire from the race. He's quite a few laps down, but Jeremy Rigney is officially out of this race as he's taking it behind the wall as well. We're down to 16 of the 23 that started on the lead lap. And most of the cars that are off track are out of the race officially.
Yeah, Eric Minch is one of those guys that I'm not... Oh, he's still on track, but got some significant damage on his 9 laps down. He was involved in that caution with Brandon Coleman, who's still out on track, and he's 4 laps down. Let's go back up to Joe Burchett, who has got the inside line on Dylan Vose. We told you it wasn't going to take long. Gets a little bit of a blink coming out of turn 2. Very close to that number 19. Close again as they go into turn 3. Dylan Vose pinching him down a little bit. Still got that inside line.
What a job the 41's done driving back through the field this quickly, huh?
Absolutely. Let's look at Brian Littleton. He's getting a run on these two as well. So it's turning into a 3-car battle for this 4th place, as Joe Burchett has now got the clear on the 19, and he takes away that 4th place. Now his next job is to chase down Todd Cray, who's finally been passed by Tyler Cox. Tyler Cox, despite almost spinning the car out and wrecking his car, has managed to regain momentum and get past that number 21.
Yeah, that's resiliency right there, man. He did not give up. He just kept on digging and digging and digging, and finally it paid off. And now he's moved up into that 2nd spot. Now he can try to cut into that lead a little bit. The 36, he really didn't get away. With all that battling that was done, he thought the 36 would be able to drive away, but he really hasn't.
Oh, look at this. Since Tyler Cox has moved up to 2nd place, he has gained on Joshua Banks by 0.4 of a second already.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You thought the 36 would be able to just these guys. They were dueling it out for, good 5 to 8 laps there, and he did not get away. So I imagine we're going to see a little fishing now, if you know what I mean.
Absolutely. He's going to be...
reeling him in.
Oh, yeah. Speaking of reeling people in, we're still seeing a battle here between... Well, there was a battle between Joe Burchett and Dylan Vose. Dylan Vose has backed off and now fallen into the clutches of Brian Littleton, who's now chasing down that number 19. Mark Nadeau is carrying some damage after hitting the wall out of turn 2. He is under pressure from Lee Granty, who has also fallen back a bit. Michael Trevathan still there in 9th place. He's not really under any pressure anymore, so he can breathe a sigh of relief, I think, because losing all those spots must have really played on his mind.
Oh, we got cars wrecking on the back.
And that's Mark Nadeau.
40 heavy impact.
What a huge wreck. Let's go back and see what happened there.
I think the 40 got into the wall and it slowed up this momentum, and then it got hammered from behind.
he got loose coming out of turn 2, trying to control the car. Lee Grandy had nowhere to go and just helped him around the rest of the way, and that was it for Martin Nadeau. Martin Nadeau is... his competitive race is effectively over at this point.
Yeah, right there. That was Bond get the tables, and man, that was a hard impact at the end of it.
This is going to be going on all night, guys, so get used to it.
It's WrestleMania, baby.
Meanwhile, let's go back to our leaders. The number 36 of Joshua Banks. Going to see if he's going to come down pit road at this time. The question is... yes, they are. He's going to bring them down to pit road for a set of Mr. Feelgoods and some fresh Sunoco fuel.
That was a nice little run we had there. Much longer than the first 2 runs that we had.
Yeah, we
sure those guys were ready for a caution. Those tires were probably not feeling so friendly at that point.
Yeah, I think it's given the people a chance to calm down a bit after the shenanigans from the second caution as well. So, as Brian Littleton overshoots his box big time, so that's going to lose him a few positions. Let's see who can get out of pit road first.
Sam, how many guys in the last 2 nights have we seen cost themselves positions on pit road and cost themselves time on pit road?
I am not sure.
At least 5 to 10?
Something like that.
Yeah, there were a bunch. Remember at the end of the last night's race, there were at least 3 of them that made mistakes on the final pit stop, green flag stops. And we were seeing guys under caution last night oversliding their box. So I'd say a good 5 to 10 guys just in the last 24 hours we've seen making mistakes on pit road. That'll cost you, folks.
I think that's the nature of the cold track as well. It's making it very slippy in pit road, and it's very difficult to slow down for your box when you're going through your pit road at like 50, 60 miles per hour. Meanwhile, Tyler Cox wins the race off pit road. He is now back up to the lead again. Joshua Banks a bit slower off pit road. He's in second. Todd Cray in third. Joe Burchett, he's come out in fourth. Dylan Vose in fifth. Michael Javarthan getting a better pit stop this time round. He is out in sixth place. Marion seventh. Wubka in eighth. Robert Dudley, we've not seen much of him since that first caution that he was involved in. He's bounced back. He's up to ninth. And we both know what Robert Dudley's like. He's a very good racer, so he knows how to bounce back.
Yeah, I've personally watched him grow as an Indy racer when he first come into Top Fuel Racing. You know, he was just learning how to race the car and, you know, wasn't very consistent at it. And now he runs in the five, so leads races. So, yeah, Dudley's one of them up-and-comers, man. He definitely has potential to learn how to drive the car and become better as time goes on.
Yeah, certainly gave a lot of people a run for the money at the Michigan Special a couple of weeks ago.
If it wasn't the most laps he led, it was damn near the most laps of the race.
Oh, yeah. Brian Littleton, after that, overshooting his pit box, he's dropped back to 10th place. So, yeah, he's lost a few places, but not too many. So, that didn't hurt him too badly. League owner Skylar Allen is in 11th. Lee Grandy, something's happened to... Oh, well, he was involved in that incident with Martin Nadeau. He's dropped down to 12th now. Stephen Parks, we've not seen any of him tonight. We've seen his teammate wreck out just now, but he's still there. He's in 13th. Craig Hawkins. Where do I know that name from?
Yeah, it's from Top Fuel Racing. I don't know if that's Craig or if that's his son Austin.
Okay.
That's the name that Stone Cold Austin Hawkins races under.
Okay. So that's Craig Hawkins there in 14th.
I don't know if that's his dad Craig or if that's Austin, because they race under the same account. So.
Either way, it's a Hawkins in that car. 2 more retirements, Scott.
Hawkins.
2 more retirements. Martin Nadeau and Robert Hill Jr. have put their cars behind the wall.
Yeah, I'm not surprised by the 40. I mean, he pretty much blew the Momo on that thing.
Yeah.
There's hardly any of them left out. Look at how short the field is now compared to when we started.
Yeah, we had 23 cars take the green. We're now down to 16. 14 still on the lead lap, though, as we are approaching halfway. We're 10 laps from halfway as we are 1 to green. About to get them going again. The pace car peels off. And away we go again. Tyler Cox getting off to a decent restart. Joshua Banks spinning the wheels, but still getting off to a decent start there in second place. Todd Cray fighting out there in third place with Joe Bichette. Let's go back to Todd Cray. Still managed to hold on to third place as Joe Bichette is in fourth. Michael Trevathan gets around Dylan Vose, has moved up to fifth, so he's found some speed back in that car again.
Yeah, picked up a few spots too. Picked up some of them points that he was losing. Not sure what was going on in that last run with the two, but the moment they dropped the green flag, it just was not good for him. So we'll see if he has a better run this time or if same thing and he starts to fade over a few laps.
Yeah.
But what a job by the 41 right here, right in front of the Joe Bichette. For whatever reason, he pitted off sequence with everybody else a couple of cautions ago, fell all the way to the tail end of the field, and has since driven through the field and is now back up here in fourth place. So what a job by Joe tonight.
Yeah, and he's back on the same pit sequence as everybody else as well, so a bit of a off-strategy moment there for him, and he drove through the field and he's back on strategy again as Joshua Banks is going to the high side there trying to save a bit of tyres. He's going to get a run on Tyler Cox, but not too much of a run as here comes Todd Cray trying to make a look on the inside, gets the dive bomb and he's alongside the 36. Can he make it stick?
I think the 14's just trying to save his tires right now while this is all going on behind him because he hasn't tried to pull away by any means. Or either that or these guys are just laying down all the rubber they got right now to keep up with him.
As there it is, Todd Cray still holding on to third place, still trying to take that second place away from Josh Banks. Meanwhile, Tyler Cox is starting to pull away from that battle. Joe Bichette is on the outside of Todd Cray. Michael Trevathan, I think he's just happy to hold on to that fifth place, quite frankly.
Well, the car looks a lot better on this front. It looks a whole lot stronger.
It does. I keep saying this, but I do appreciate a good paint scheme, and that is a nice paint scheme on that number 2. Meanwhile, let's go back to the battle. Brian Littleton, I think the best restart has to go to him. He's gained 3 spots on that restart. He is up to 7th place. Austin Marion is in 8th. Lee Granty has moved up from 12th to 9th. So a lot of people making moves in this on this restart here.
I was surprised that Lee's still able to gain positions and be fast out there after the heavy contact that he suffered there in that last caution.
Yeah, it looks like he's driven through a wall.
Well, I mean, he basically pile drove the guy that he hit, so
yeah, I mean, it looks like
the guy lost a ton of momentum, and he was going full speed, and man, it was heavy impact.
Yeah, like I said, it looks like he's driven through the walls of Jericho, so he's there with that damage on the front of his car. There is Tyler Cox still out in front. Joshua Banks holding on to second place, but here comes Joe Bichette again on the inside of the 21 of Todd Cray, making moves again. Very close out of turn 2.
Big wiggle.
And he gets the position away from Todd Cray. So Joe Bichette up to third place, and now he can concentrate on getting that second place away and resuming that battle with Tyler Cox.
Seen a lot of battles tonight. Guys just battling it out. Everybody out there on the track's in a WrestleMania spirit as well because they have not given anything. Everybody's had to earn what they've gotten here tonight here up in the top 5.
Yeah, reaching for that brass ring. Lee Grandy going for that.
They're trying.
Yeah, Lee Grandy getting the inside line on Austin Marion, trying to take that position away, getting a slide job up coming off turn 4. Got the inside line. Here comes Jeff Wubka, as well as Grandy takes the position away from Marion.
Showing aerodynamics don't mean anything here tonight at Texas.
Nope. Brian Littleton all by himself right now. Jeff Wubka is still there. He's in the top 10, back in the top 10 now after that being involved in incidents earlier. He's chasing down Austin Marion. Skylar Allen, he's been well, we haven't really spoke much about Skylar already so far tonight, have we?
No, he's kind of rode in the back most of the evening, so we haven't spoke about him too much.
As we are halfway in this race now, 67 laps out of 134, we are officially halfway in this event now, as Tyler Cox is our leader. Let's go to our top 10 right now. Tyler Cox is our leader. Josh Banks is second. Joe Bichette is in third. Todd Cray sits fourth. Michael Trevathan, after an early disruption there, falling back to 9th place, is back up there to 5th place. Dylan Vose is in 6th. 7th is Brian Littleton. 8th Lee Grant D. 9th is Austin Marion, and the top 10 is Jeff Wupker. Let's go in. You know what? While everybody's battling it out, I'm going to go to Lee Grant D with all these battles going on. And you know what? I didn't do this last night. Oh, what are you going to say?
I was just going to say, Bo's got by Trevathan, so Trevathan's back to 6th place now. He's used up his tire, so the points leader beginning to fade again.
Yeah, it's not having a good time out there is Michael Trevathan. Falling back behind the 19, and he's being caught by the 80 of Brian Littleton. So not having the best of times. Looking for our closest battle out on the track right now, and that would be
Robert Dudley side by side with Skylar Allen right now.
And he makes the pass on the outside. Robert Dudley up to 11th place now. And he's having connection issues. Now, we've seen this before from Robert Dudley, so that's unfortunate that it's happening again. Let's go back to Craig Hawkins, is all on his own. Brandon Coleman is 5 laps down and he's on his own. And Eric Minch is 10 laps down. So something really bad happening to Eric Minch tonight, and he's really far behind the pack. Going to our leader, Tyler Cox. He's pulled away. He's over half a second ahead of Josh Banks, who's there in 2nd place. I've already gone through this about a million times, but I'm looking for battles anywhere. Let's go to Brian Littleton and Michael Trevathan, as Brian Littleton has now got round the number 2. Yeah, it's falling back again.
Meanwhile, the top 3 are keeping each other within about a half a second here. Not letting them get away from each other. What a battle by these front 3, huh?
Absolutely.
Pulling away from the rest of the field.
Yeah, as Joe Bichette is now a second to the good over Todd Cray, who's in 4th place. Tyler Cox not really getting away from Joshua Banks. That gap is sticking at half a second. So, as you said, yeah, they're really, really doing well to keep each other within touching distance. Hopefully, they might be able to close the gap on pit stops, and we'll have a fantastic race out of this. Not really many battles happening out on track right now, apart from these 3. Trevathan is a good 7/10 of a second ahead of Lee Grandy, who's still got a strong car out of there, as we've already said. He's got that serious damage on the front of his car, but still not affecting him too much.
Yeah, I think now we're going to start getting into that groove to where we may not get another caution for a while, because these guys are going to get into a crit zone out there and start getting into that groove to where they're just clicking off laps. Nobody makes a mistake.
Well, I think it's the nature of how many cars are left back out on track now and how spread out they are. I mean, this has, with the amount of retirements we've had tonight, this has actually become a race of attrition now. So it's just, yeah, it's basically a case of everybody gets spaced out up until the pit stops and just running their own race, and then when it's go time, that's when you put the foot to the floor.
I don't think the carnage is over yet, though. I definitely don't think we've seen the last caution. It just may be a little bit before we see another one, but I definitely don't think the carnage is over yet.
Speaking of putting the foot to the floor, here comes Joshua Banks. He's managed to catch up to the back of Tyler Cox, who looks like he's used those tyres up, unfortunately. And now we have a battle for the lead between the 14 and the 36.
Yeah, the 41 is just going to hang back and let the 36 go up here and race the 14 and burn up his tires, and then he'll pass both of them and wave as he drives on by.
And you wouldn't expect anything else from Joe Bichette. He likes to pass people, but he also knows how to play the patient game, and he's definitely playing that game right now, as he's just under a second ahead of Todd Cray, who's not really in any trouble by himself. Let's go back to the battle for the lead, as Josh Banks is just happy to sit behind Tyler Cox, using that outside line. Not sure if he's going to make it work as they come for the tri-oval. Sliding up slightly, but he's not going to make it work. And the caution's out. Craig Hawkins spinning
Clean it up,
out.
guys. You're
Let's go
floored.
back and find out what happened to him. Got loose coming out of turn 2 like Mark Nadeau did, and literally slammed it into the wall. And that's
Yeah, it did, and it went down, made impact the inside wall too to finish it off.
Yeah. So that's gonna
There's
do.
your caution.
Yeah, that's gonna do it for Craig Hawkins tonight. And this race
That
is.
leaves us with 13 on the lead lap.
Yeah, that's not going to be very good. Stephen Parks, the last man on that lead lap.
We started with 23. We're down to 13 left on the lead lap. We just got past the halfway point of the race, and we're down to about the halfway point of the field.
As we are having. Just checking back. I'm just gonna repeat what I said earlier, guys. We are having technical issues tonight, so the YouTube video is not gonna be there. If you want to catch us live, we are live on Facebook. Just go to our Facebook page, both for broadcasting, and we will be live there. We are also shared to the all the good iRacing groups on Facebook, so if you are a part of those groups, then do not hesitate to join us on there. As for the YouTube video, this is being recorded, so I will have this broadcast uploaded after we are finished broadcasting here tonight. Meanwhile, we are under pit stops as all the leaders come in. Most people come in. Lee Grandy gets it all wrong in pit road. No, that's not Grandy. That's Coleman gets it wrong in pit road. Dylan Vose, the first one to blink out of pit road, but it's going to be Tyler Cox who comes out first. Vose is going to gain a ton of positions coming out of pit road. Vose coming out actually in third amongst the leaders that have come out, but Stephen Parks has actually stayed out.
Yep, I was just wondering if Steven was actually going to come to pit road.
Yeah, we're just watching him now as he's coming through turns 3 and 4.
That's about what I expected with Steven. He's just staying out there to lead a lap.
Yeah, I wasn't even live, so just my luck, right?
I've done that so many times.
Yeah. Oh, we've all done it. Tony's done it as well. It's just been, yeah. It's one of our funny points of the night. Meanwhile,
all broadcasters do it.
Meanwhile, go back to our leaders as we've got Tyler Cox in the lead, Joshua Banks in second. Dylan Vose has moved up to third place after an amazing start for him. Joe Bichette getting it wrong in pit road again. He's dropped back to 10th place.
Was it a mistake on pit road? Overslide his box?
Yeah, I think he slid through his pit box.
Been seeing a lot of that. And as you attributed earlier, it could be from the colder conditions. It does make a difference. I know sometimes when the conditions are treacherous, getting off of pit road, man, it can be a circus sometimes. So, but even on pit road, trying to brake and get into your box, what you would normally think would be the braking zone is not the braking zone because the conditions have drastically changed.
Absolutely. Stephen Parks finally makes it out of pit road. Over a minute in pit road, so he was repairing some damage, I'm guessing, because he wouldn't be serving a penalty under caution, would he?
If he got caught speeding coming in, he would.
Oh, maybe. As they all double up. Yeah. What did you say? Sorry, what were you going to say?
No, I was just going to just further touch on that. I know of a few people here recently that have not been speeding on pit road and for whatever reason have gotten a penalty. So could have been a glitch, or he could have just slightly went over. You know, there's some people, they just don't pay attention on the pit road and they get caught speeding coming in, even under caution.
Absolutely. As we are 1 to green, they've all doubled up again. Looking to see another restart here. Scott, I've been very generous tonight, so I'm going to let you get them going again.
Alrighty. But beware of that glitch, people. Some people are getting a pit road glitch where they're getting speeding penalties even though they weren't speeding.
Absolutely, as we...
Here we go. Waiting on the pace car. You would think for a Porsche he'd be in a bigger hurry. Must be one of them old rich guys, like 95 years old, can barely turn the wheel. Here we go. And the 14. Nice restart there. Pretty much whoever's going to be in the lead tonight, if they got fresh tires, they're going to be in a big advantage to be able to get this thing restarted. So if we come down to a shootout, it's definitely going to be in the leader's hands. But 36, they're wound up here and see if he can't reel into 14 again. 14 looked like he used up all of his tires at the end of that last run, and he benefited from a timely caution.
Absolutely, as Tyler Cox has pulled out to a pretty decent lead over Joshua Banks already. Dylan Vose is in third place, but look at Lee Grandy coming through the field there. He's got the inside line on Todd Cray. Where has he come from? He's still with that damage on his car, and he's still able to make passes on people, and this is going to be an important pass. It's going to put him up to fourth place.
Proving aerodynamics mean nothing tonight here at Texas.
Absolutely not. Let's go back to Joe Burchett, who's actually making moves for the field again. Restarted in P10, he's already up to P8. So Joe Burchett doing what he does best and passing people as he's putting a move on Michael Javarthan. Got that inside line and passes him like he's just standing still.
Yeah, it's been a tough night for the two. He's gone up and down. He's just trying to salvage whatever he can get here tonight and hopefully maintain the points lead. But with the 14 up there in the lead, that's likely not to happen with as far back as the two is.
Absolutely, as now Joe Burchett sets his sight on that number 80 of Brian Littleton. Todd Cray is there in fifth place too. It looks like Lee Grandy is starting to hold these guys up slightly because he's not exactly getting away and he keeps falling back into the clutches of the 21 again.
Well, yeah, he's basically got a snowplow in the front of his car, and now that the tires are wearing down a little bit, he's going to start to feel the difference as far as the speed goes that these other guys are carrying. I imagine it'll be just a few laps before he'll start to fade back a little bit because of that damage on the front. I'm surprised at how well he's been able to move up through the field like he has since he was in that caution with Mark Nadeau. The car's got a lot of damage on the front of it.
Absolutely, and he's not affecting him at all whatsoever. Although he is look like he's holding.
It will.
Yeah, it will eventually. That water temperature and oil temperature must be through the roof right now.
Yeah, you definitely got to take that into consideration too. How well is that car breathing right now? But even so, over the longer part of the run, it should make the car start to push after a while.
I mean, that car is racing with a broken freaking nose, so.
Yeah, well, so far he's making it work. He's showing that broken nose ain't going to slow him down. He's still carrying the top 5 and doing a great job. I'm impressed.
I mean, it's better than wrestling with a broken freaking neck, though, so, you know.
Maybe he's riding around with his gold medal. Good luck charm.
Yeah, we're still focused.
As Earnhardt did his lucky penny.
We're still focused on Lee Grandy there, still holding off Todd Cray and Joe Burchett, who's joined the party now. Joe Burchett's not going to stand for that, is he? He's just going to get around them as quickly as possible as he puts a move on Todd Cray now.
I think he was waiting for Cray to get by the 29, and he got tired of waiting. He's like, all right, well, if you're not going to do it, let me get on by. Let me take a shot at this.
And Lee Grandy's actually been defending for his life. That's what's held up Todd Cray and dropped him back to 6 because Todd Cray's not been able to get around him. But Joe Burchett is going to show him how to do it as they're drag racing down the backstretch going into turn 3. And Joe Burchett takes away fourth place and he's up to 4. Joe Burchett is already back up into the top 5. I actually can't believe that.
Yeah, he just drove right on by. Neither can I. But Joe, man, he's just impressive, dude. He's one of those guys he's just fast. You don't know how to explain. He's just fast. And easy on, easy off on that throttle.
And I'm not done it yet, but Scott, we're about to crank it up.
Let's do it.
Back to the action now as we see Dylan Vose now under pressure from Joe Burchett. Joe Burchett has got the inside line. He's going for that third place now as they come out of turn 4. Still side by side going for that double dog leg. Looks like Dylan Vose has got a better run. Almost door tapping him there as they are still side by side going through turns 1 and 2. And looks like Joe Burchett's going to get the clear this time round, but Dylan Vose has got other ideas as he's going to get a run on that outside. Dylan Vose getting one hell of a push on that outside line.
They both had big wiggles coming out of 2 there. I'm surprised they didn't wind up making contact or one of them contacting the wall.
Yeah,
great job by both of them by saving it and not wrecking each other at the same time. Look at this, the over-under 19. He's going to get the door slammed on him, though. No Girl Scout cookies here. Sorry, buddy. We don't eat sugar.
As Joe Burchett had a small blink then going through the tri-oval, so that must have scared Dylan Vose slightly. He's dropped now down to 4th place. We're going to go back to our battle between Todd Cray and Brian Littleton, as Brian Littleton has got the inside line, looking at trying to get past Todd Cray as they go for the tri-oval. We are 40 laps to go now. My God, this race has gone quickly, even though we've had the cautions.
Sure has. They've had some good green flag runs here tonight. We've had some short green flag runs, but we've had some long runs as well. So we're in the midst of another little good run right here. And we're going to be seeing green flag stops before this thing's over. These guys cannot make it to the end on the tires or the fuel. So if this stays green, they will be making green flag stops. It's a matter of when, though.
Yeah, and that'll work in Tyler Cox's favour, as he is absolutely checked out right now. He's over a second and a half to the good over Joshua Banks. Joshua Banks himself is over 1.4 seconds ahead of Joe Burchett. So Joe Burchett's going to have a bit of a battle to get up to the back of that 36 now.
I would think about 20, 25 laps to go, somewhere in that window, you're going to start seeing guys coming to pit road. You might get some guys that might come a little sooner than that, but not about 25 to go should guys start coming.
And as we've seen on the last 2 nights, people have actually made mistakes, and the last money stop has actually decided the race on the last 2 nights. Will we see the same happen? Will we see the same happen tonight? Who knows? You'll have to stay tuned and see what happens as we are coming to the closing stages of this race. We're less than 40 laps to go now. Tyler Cox has a 1.4 second lead over Joshua Banks there in 2nd place. In 3rd place we have got Joe Burchett, sorry. Dylan Vose is there in 4th place. Granty is in 5th. Brian Littleton has now got around Todd Cray, but Todd Cray taking a bite back at him. They are battling now, going through turns 1 and 2. And that outside line really coming into play now as Brian Littleton uses it to his advantage.
Yeah, he did that time, that's for sure. How about the job that the 29 has done, though, man? Lee Granty up here with the whole front of his car smashed in, running up here in 5th place and closing in on the 19. I was expecting that car to fade away as the run went on. And it looks like the car's getting stronger.
Yeah, it's going to fade away, and it's going to fade away and be classified as obsolete, but obviously not.
No. Whoa, big wiggle there. Not at all. If anything, you know, it's making him stronger. That's odd, because usually it's the other way around.
Yeah, I've only seen Lee Granty race once this season. That was at Las Vegas, and he had a pretty good showing there, and he's proven it again tonight why he is in this league and in this series. The man from the Far East is really making a name for himself tonight, even with a damaged car, and he's putting Dylan Vose under some pressure now. That is going to catch up to the back of that number 19 very quickly if he keeps running the lines he is, because he's running some very clean lines around this track tonight, even with the damaged car.
I just noticed that Lee was from Asia. I didn't notice that.
The what?
That you were saying from the Far East. I didn't realize he was from Asia.
Yeah, he's all the way from Asia, and definitely making a name for himself out there tonight. Let's go back.
Yeah, he is.
Further into the pack, let's go back to 9th place as Austin Marion is under pressure from Jeff Wubka. The 09 coming back for the pack. He's been pretty far back there all night tonight. not really making any moves forward, which is unusual for Jeff Wubka because he usually likes to be at the front. Going back to Stephen Parks, he's having a battle. Those two cars, as you see on the screen, are the last two cars on the lead lap. Stephen Parks is in 12th. Robert Dudley is there behind him in 13th place. Robert Dudley is still nursing a damaged car, so no surprise that he's back there, but he's still there on the lead lap and going strong, Scott.
Yeah, that he is. He's hanging in there tonight. One of the cars that survived all the carnage that's gone on in this race. As I stated earlier, we started with 23. We're down to 13 on the lead lap, Robert Dudley being one of them. So these guys are trying to get to the finish at this point. Like I was just saying just a few minutes ago, I think we'll be seeing green flag stops here in the next 7 to 10 laps.
Yeah, Stephen Parks and Robert Dudley have actually they're on the back.
Sorry, but we got one that's almost coming to a stop here on turn 3. He's trying to limp back to pit road, but it's Eric Minch just limping around the track.
And let's listen to that car, because I believe he's blown the engine on that car, and he has. He's got no power in that car. That car has no engine left in it, so that is going to be the end of the night for Eric Minch, I'm afraid. Unfortunately,
he's down off the track, so that won't bring the caution out.
Unfortunate there for Eric Minch. As we go back to our leader, Tyler Cox, has got a 2.5 second lead over Joshua Banks now, really controlling this race very well, as we've seen so many times from that number 14 this season. Really showing the guys how it's done tonight.
Well, the question is, are we going to get another caution so we can reel these cars all back up? Because, man, the 14 has driven away.
Absolutely, he's in a world to himself right now. Let's go back to one of our close battles. We'll go back to Todd Cray, who has got who is right on the back. Well, he's not really right on the back of Brian Littleton, who's fighting it out with Dylan Vose. Still there together, Dylan Vose and the number 80 battling it out, as Dylan Vose did get by. No, did he get by? No, that was Todd Cray was fighting with us. Brian Littleton goes on the inside of Dylan Vose. Dylan Vose has got some damage on that car. I wonder if he hit the wall coming out of turn 2, because that seems to be the bogey corner tonight, as Todd Cray's reeled him back in as well.
Yeah, that shouldn't slow him down. And with all that damage that the 29's got on the front of his car, that little bit that the 19's got on that right quarter panel, that shouldn't slow him down too much.
That's true, as Todd Cray is now right on his tail. But the 80 of Brian Littleton passed him like he wasn't even there. So I wonder wondering if it is hurting him slightly, as he is definitely falling back away from the 80 and is being caught by the 21 of Cray. Can Cray actually get a move on the 19? Not quite yet. He's too far back, as we see Brandon Coleman coming out of pit road. So Brandon Coleman falling to 7 laps down now. 8 laps down, sorry. The rookie not having the best of nights tonight, I will say.
How about old Skylar Allen and Robert Dudley back here still battling it up?
Yeah, Skylar Allen getting a wiggle coming out into the tri-oval, manages to collect it up slightly, but looks like he's driving a loose car right there.
Yeah, that car looked unhappy right there.
They say here comes
Dudley. He's going to try to get that run.
Yeah, here he comes. Got the inside line on the backstretch. Skylar Allen does not look happy out there in that number 96. There's something wrong with that car. Seems very loose going through the corners. Robert Dudley takes away 10th place, and all of a sudden, Robert Dudley is in the top 10. As we do
How about that, huh?
Yeah. As Austin Marion is coming out of pit road, we are having green flag pit stop start already.
Yep, just about that window, I thought. About 25 to go. Hey, Seth, that about broke it up in half from where we started when we started this run that we got going here currently. So just made sense for them to come in about midway through to get fresh tires, because you're going to have to stop at some point.
First of the front runners to come in is Todd Cray. He's brought himself down to pit road now. Jeff Wubka coming down there with him. So, yeah, the green flag stops are definitely starting now as Skylar Allen comes down as well. He's going to be happy to see that pit road now after driving such a loose car in the last few laps.
Yeah, his tires were barking at him, that's for sure. He wanted for Mr. Feelgoods in a bad way. Question is, when will our leader, Tyler Cox, come to pit road? He's dominated this race tonight, led the most laps of the race. He's got a huge lead right now. When will he come to road? You know he doesn't want to see a caution flag. But he's got one more stop to make before we can get going to the finish.
Absolutely, and it doesn't look like he's showing any signs of coming down this time round, so he goes around for another lap as we have Michael Trevathan in pit road now. Oh, there he is. Must have had a few problems on pit road because he's only just getting his second set on now. Getting his left sides on, and he's leaving pit road as I speak. Everybody else ahead of him still staying out, not coming down pit road just yet. Let's go to Joshua Banks, who's there all on his own right now, not really under any pressure from anybody. Joe Bichette has actually decided to stay there in third place as Tyler Cox. Here comes the leader.
Bichette's in too.
So here we go, the big guns coming down to pit road now. Let's go to Tyler Cox there. He is coming down pit road. Let's go to the pit camera, go to the qualifying, not the qualifying. Pit stop.
We knew what you meant.
Yeah, I know, yeah. Both getting into the pit boxes cleanly. Away goes Tyler Cox in a 15.2. Joe Bichette at 15.1. So very similar times for these leaders. As Lee Grandy and Brian Littleton make their way down to pit road now. So
I look for Jock Nix this time or next time at the latest.
And there he is, coming through turns 3 and 4. What does he do this time?
Here he comes.
There he is.
He's coming.
Slowing down for pit road. Dylan Vose will be the next one. Does he come in and stay out? Dylan Vose decides to stay out.
Well, probably next time Dylan will come.
Yeah, and here comes Robert Dudley. He's going to be moving up to second place, but no, he's going to come down pit road as well. So Dylan Vose, the only person actually staying out here for this last stop. Take a look at the pit times. I'm keeping. Oh, we've got Coleman into the wall on the inside. Hope he keeps it down there.
He did.
That's
No caution.
absolutely good for him.
Oh, 19 slowing up to 41 here. Whoa, ran the 41 high there, coming out of 4. I wasn't sure if he was checking up to come to pit road or whatever. It looked like he got off the gas quite a bit coming through the corner. It might just been the difference between old tires and new tires, but wow, what a moment there for the 41.
As here comes Jeff Webker gonna go past him as well. So Dylan Vose using strategy to stay out on those old tires. Is he going to bring it down this time? The answer will be no. So not really doing himself any favours staying out there, as we've got Brandon Coleman on pit road now.
Wonder if he's going to try to make it to the end.
Well, we have got 17 laps to go, as here comes Michael Trevathan going to make a move on him now and get back on the lead lap. Tyler Cox is 24 seconds back and he's catching him at a rate of knots. Just took 0.3 of a second out of him from nowhere. So Dylan Vose
showing no signs of coming to pit road is the 19, so I'm thinking he might be in this for the long haul.
Absolutely, it's it. There's Tyler Cox. He's got a 3.5 second gap over the car behind him, which is Joshua Banks. There's Joshua, but Joshua Banks has got Todd Cray right on his tail. Todd Cray looking for a top 3 right here. Joe Bichette's not far behind either.
Still no signs of the 19. Oh, yep, here he is. I didn't think he was coming, but here he is coming. He was hoping for the caution. He was playing the caution game. I was going to say, I didn't think he'd have enough fuel to make it all the way to the end.
Nice, here comes Tyler Cox. I don't think Dylan Vose is going to get down and out in time for him to stay out in the lead, but...
No way.
Here comes Tyler Cox regardless.
He lost a ton of time out there riding around on them old tires.
Yes, Tyler Cox retakes the lead. Joshua Banks is up to second place. Todd Cray is there in third place. With Joe Burchett now right on his tail. Joe Burchett really reeling him in now as they come onto the backstretch. Very close to the wall was Joe Burchett. So he's really driving on the edge of his seat right now. As we've got Jeff Wubka in the top 5, so he's started to make a move forward as well.
Is he pitted?
Yeah, he was one of the first guys to pit.
Nice deal. That's the benefit of pitting early.
Yeah.
Make up some track position.
Lee Grandy, the damage starting to really hurt him now as he's now dropped to 9th place. League owner Skylar Allen, he's moved up to 10th place, so he's got up to the top 10th. Dylan Vose,
Nice job.
staying out on those old tyres has really hurt him at this point because he's dropped out of the top 10 and he's fighting with Skylar Allen for that 10th position.
Yeah, he was playing the caution game, hoping that he'd stay out, somebody make a mistake and bring the caution flag out, and everybody come back in and get tires again, and he'd pick up a bunch of spots from him. But it didn't work out for him. That's too bad. And I definitely didn't think he had enough fuel to get all the way to the end.
Yeah, Dylan Vose there moving up to P10, passing Skylar Allen. Relatively easy. Go back to our leader, Tyler Cox. He's actually being caught by Joshua Banks now. Joshua Banks is hunting him down. So Joshua Banks is running faster than that number 14 right now. Question is, does he have enough time to catch him before we finish this race?
I don't know. Laps are running out. He better hurry up.
Yeah, we are 12 to go, 11 to go at the line. Tyler Cox does have Robert Dudley behind him, so he does have some kind of a car in between him and Banks. Burchett has now moved up to third place and has absolutely left Todd Cray for dead. So Burchett making a run for himself as well. He's 2.4 seconds behind Banks though. Not going to have enough time to catch up to him before this race is over. Here comes Tyler Cox coming through turns 3 and 4, and at the line we are going to be 10 laps to go here at Texas Motor Speedway. Across the line he goes, 10 laps to go. And I will say it now, this race is definitely Tyler Cox's to lose right now.
He's cutting off about 2/10 a lap, so if Tyler makes any mistakes, Josh is coming, but I just don't know if he's going to have enough time. I don't think he's going to have enough laps. But he is making up about 2/10 a lap.
As there is Banks, he's coming through turns 3 and 4. He's managed to get that gap down to 2.1 seconds now, so Banks is flying, but he needs to be careful because he doesn't want to burn those tyres off just before the end of the race and lose it at the death. Meanwhile, let's go and find a battle. This is what I was saying before with the green flag pit stops. Everybody literally all spread out. The two closest cars right now is actually Jeff Wubka and Michael Javarthan. They are 5th and 6th. Michael Javarthan, if he could get past Jeff Wubka and come back with a top 5, I'm pretty sure he'll be happy with that.
Yeah, because he's pretty much ridden in the back most of the evening, and here he is at the end of the race and up here in the top 5. So good job to him. He gridded up 19th, so definitely the biggest mover of the race, moving up 14 spots from 19th to 5th.
Yeah, but Michael Javarthan has been driving a struggling car all night. Javarthan started near the front and he's been clawing his way back all the way through this race with a very difficult car to drive. I'm pretty sure Javarthan will be happy to see the checkered flag tonight. I know that much. Brian Littleton is catching Javarthan meanwhile. He managed to get the gap down to 0.3 of a second. There is a nice battle shaping up between the 2 and the 80. Let's go back to our Josh Banks, who's managed to get the gap down to 1.7 now, as we are going to be 6 to go at the line. He's really putting the hammer down. I don't know if he's going to catch him in time though.
Yeah, I just don't think so either. Not enough laps. And he's just not making up enough time. I don't even think he's going to get there. He's got a car in between him and Tyler, and Tyler is showing no signs of slowing down. So
Yeah, as we go back to the battle between...
Although Tyler's got a lap car right in front of him right now, so he needs to get by this lap car.
That'll be Stephen Parks there in the number 1. Had a bit of trouble getting around him, but gets around him eventually. Stephen Parks carrying some damage on that number 1 car. Teammate to Mark Nadeau. Nadeau obviously retiring earlier in the race. We have had a total of 8 retirements. I'll go through that list now. Oh, 9 retirements if you count Eric Minch. Eric Minch.
And a bunch of them.
Yeah, we've got Eric Minch, Craig Hawkins, Robert Hill Jr., Mark Nadeau, Derek Pemberton. Derek Pemberton, we haven't even spoke of him tonight, and we didn't even notice he retired. Sean Lejeune, Carl Hayes, Jeff Schmidt. Both of those drivers actually removed from the race for dangerous driving in pit road, and Jeremy Rigney being involved in that first caution earlier tonight. He is also out. We've got 14 cars still running. Actually, 13 cars still running, as Brandon Coleman has now parked his car. Oh, he's not parked his car, he's come back out of pit road, but he's 23 laps down. So effectively 13 cars officially classified as running. 11 cars now just on the lead lap. As the gap is still at 1.6 seconds. 3 laps to go, 2 at the line. We're going to have the popsicle sticks come out at this time round. And we kind of expected this before the money stop, and made it actually work for him this time round. Popsicle sticks are out, and we are 2 laps to go, Scott.
Yeah, and the 14 is looking for his 9th career win here at Go Fast Racing. It'd be good enough for 5th all-time here in league history. So a couple more turns for the 14, and it'll be 9 career wins. Coming to the white flag.
As he makes his way through turns 3 and 4. Tyler Cox there starts the white flag lap as it comes out right now. White flag here at Texas Motor Speedway. Making his way through turns 1 and 2. Just going to go back to Todd Craig. He's found his way back up to 3rd place. Not sure what's happened to Burchett, but he's dropped his 1.6 behind Todd Craig. But here comes the race winner.
He's got major trouble.
Yeah.
41's falling hard right now. I'm not sure what's happening. He's actually pulling down off the track as the 41. 41's an off. He may be out of fuel.
As Tyler Cox wins at Texas Motor Speedway, his 9th career win in this series, and a well-earned win, very much dominant in the second half of the race. Joshua Banks there is going to come home in 2nd place. Todd Cray comes across the line and claims a very well-earned 3rd place. A great race, result on his comeback. Brian Littleton comes home with a creditable 4th. Jeff Wupke, what a comeback he's had. He's finished in 5th place. Michael Javarthan, happy to see the checkered flag tonight. He's in 6th. Lee Grandy.
That's exactly what happened to the 41, Sam. He ran out of fuel. He's trying to limp to the finish line right now, but unfortunate for the 41. And the 14, I think, is going to come up here and make sure he does finish, but the 41's just going to make it to the line. Tough break. He'll finish his last car on the lead lap tonight.
It's going to touch on Lee Grandy with that damage on his car. He comes home in 7th place, so good deal for him. As we see our winner there, Mr. Tyler Cox. Let's get some interviews underway, shall we, as everybody brings it down pit road. Let's go to our 3rd place finisher, Mr. Todd Cray. Scott, I believe you're with him right now.
Hey, Todd, you got a copy? Todd Cray. Todd, you got a copy?
Oh, you guys out there?
Yeah, we're
There he is. We didn't give up on you. Good run tonight, Todd. You started 2nd tonight. Overall, you bring it home 3rd. You were out there pretty much the whole race in battle after battle. Tell us a little bit about your evening and how you came home and standing on them tonight.
It was a fun race. I'll say it was fun. Good, clean race. Where I was sitting, just had a hard time all night. Tried to save some tires early, run the high line, and lost too much time. And then tried to run low with these guys and hang with them, and That didn't work neither, and tried to work on my brake bias, and so at the end there, tried to early pit stop to make up a few spots, and that kind of helped me out a little bit to finish it off here tonight.
Yeah, how was the car feeling out there? Was there anything specific about the car that was giving you issues tonight, or were the conditions right in your wheelhouse? Because it was rather cool out there tonight.
Yeah, I think
rather cold.
I think I thought it was going to be a tire saving night, but that wasn't the case. The guys were just too fast, coming off of 2. I was trying to figure that out as the night went on. Bottom line is, got to get more practice in, and got to get some more testing in. And these guys are fast, and my guys at Metalhead Motorsports sticking with me, and just having a good time here.
Yeah, practice is key to success, man. The more you practice, the further up the podium you'll finish. I learned a long time ago. So yeah, definitely, if you got more time to practice, you'll see the long haul results from it.
Yep, that's the plan, guys. Losing by 10 seconds is not an option.
I feel you on that. Big anybody you want to thank tonight for your 3rd place finish here at Texas?
Just the guys at Metalhead Motorsports, Jeff and the guys, and you guys for putting the show on. Go Fast for running a good league here and having a lot of fun, and that's about it. To go back to the drawing board.
All right, Todd. Well, good job tonight, man, and we'll see you next week at Bristol.
Thank you, guys. Have a good night.
And that was 3rd place finisher Todd Cray. I'm here with Joshua Banks, who's finished in 2nd place. Josh, 2nd place here tonight. You had the legs over Tyler Cox near the end, but ultimately came home 2nd. How are you feeling tonight?
It was a pretty good night. I look at it as a points night because this track's not one of my best tracks. Not particularly fond of the mile and a half, so be able to come out 2nd, definitely a plus, and definitely look at it as a points night, so definitely will help me in the standings. But Tyler had it made, definitely had it beat near the middle of the run. Felt like the longer the run went, I was able to gain a little bit on him, but he just had it down, so I had nothing for him. So good job to him, and that's all.
All right. Had a really strong run through the night. Plenty of cautions, and definitely on a cold track as well. Were you finding it difficult with the cold conditions out there, or were you able to run it as normal and keep it out there?
It was tight. The setup was tight overall, and with the cooler track temp with a lot of grip, I mean, it got tight overall. And then it really got later in the run, it really got loose, which was weird. But it was just tight. If we just kept it off the wall and kept it clean, we were okay, and that's what we were able to do. And thankfully, we weren't able to hit the wall because that would have screwed us over. But yeah.
Yeah, I dare say it was very sketchy out there with the wall. Saw a lot of people getting very close to that outside wall coming out of turn 2. That seemed like the bogey corner for most people tonight. But anyway, looking forward to next week. We go to Bristol. What are your thoughts on that track?
It's a hit or miss. Sometimes I'm good there, sometimes I'm bad there. So it just depends what happens when we go there next week. Hopefully we'll come out with another good top 5 finish, maybe even with a win. We'll just have to see what happens.
Absolutely. Anybody you'd like to thank for tonight's 2nd place?
Just a team, SWA Motorsports, for support. And just shout out to all my teammates there. And again, shout out to Tyler for winning the race. Good race to him. And shout out to the league and Skylar hosting it. Really good league he's got going on. And you guys broadcasting us. Real nice of y'all to join us. And all our sponsors we got with the league and with me and everything in between. So.
Okay, thank you, Josh. We'll let you go back up to your room, and congratulations on 2nd place.
I appreciate it, boss man.
And that was Joshua Banks coming home in 2nd place. Scott, I believe you have got our race winner.
I'm looking for Tyler now. I'll let you interview him. I'm trying to find him, though.
I've got him.
You got him? Oh, there he is. You got him? Okay.
Tyler Cox coming home in 1st place. I'm with him right now. Tyler, dominant performance near the end, but Josh was catching you near there. Did you think you were running out on tyres near the end, or was it just a case of coasting home to the finish?
No, I was trying to save a little bit, just in case we had a late race caution, because I wasn't going to pit. So I was trying to save a little bit, but also try to keep a little bit of a gap, just in case he did catch me and try to stay ahead.
Okay, cool. It's getting very familiar seeing you up here in the broadcast booth. Getting used to getting those race wins. You must be enjoying it out there lately.
Yeah, it's the guys back at the shop been giving us race cars, so that we can come out here and put on a good performance.
Okay, cool. And the conditions out there pretty cold out there on the track. The track temperature very cold, and very strong winds out there. How did it feel out there tonight?
Off 1 and 2, where the crosswind was, on the later runs you had to let the car rotate and coast a little bit longer through the corner, or else you'd find yourself pushing up and getting into the wall. And if you get into the wall here, just any damage just kills you. It's a very aerodynamic track. So, but off 3 and 4, it wasn't too bad. So.
Okay, awesome. Looking ahead to next week, we go to Bristol. What are your thoughts on that track?
I'm excited to go to Bristol, and hopefully we can put this big dog concrete Toyota Camry back in victory lane next week.
Awesome. Anybody you'd like to thank for tonight's win?
Yeah, Overtake, all the guys at Overtake, Adam, Joe, Derek, Landon, Tim, Jack, everybody over there. Ryan Kuhn, big thank you to him. He's been helping me out lately with just trying to find a speed in a car and how to turn like the wheel less and get the car to rotate more. Obviously my sponsor, Big Dog Concrete out of Oxford, Maine. I couldn't do any of this without them, and I thank them for hopping on board for the 2018 year. If you guys need concrete work, just shoot me a message and I'll get you hooked up with them if you're from the New England area. My mom and dad, and obviously everybody at Go Fast Racing, Skylar, and all the admins and you guys for broadcasting.
Okay, Tyler, great job tonight, and congratulations on the win.
Thank you, guys. We'll hopefully see you next week.
Oh, you will. But with better technological problems. Tonight we've had so many problems, it's unreal. Thanks, Skylar. We'll see you next week.
You're welcome.
And join us in the booth now is league owner Skylar Allen. Skylar, your thoughts on tonight's race?
There were some, shall I say, crazy moments and some things that we got to work on as that we've got to work on as admins to improve upon. But overall, I think it was a great race. I got to give a shout out to Tyler. As most know, he's coming off of a 2-week suspension for some over aggressive driving in previous races, and to put on the show that he did tonight and to do it in a way that didn't affect his competitors, I felt like was fantastic. I like to see drivers win. I like to see them be up front, but I want to see him do it safely, and tonight he did that. So hopefully he took enough away from the from the couple of weeks that he had off, and he knows he's got a hole to dig out of if he wants to race for a points championship here, and I think he kind of put a start to that tonight with going out and winning the race. So definitely a great job there for him. And just a big shout out to you guys. I know there were some technological issues early on, and possibly throughout. I'm not 100% sure what happened there, but you guys do a fantastic job for us. Sam, it was nice to have you back with us.
It's good to be back.
Nice little extended vacation you had. That was so it's great to have you back. The guys did a good job filling in for you while you were gone. So definitely looking forward to Bristol. Should be interesting. So
absolutely, and looking forward to Bristol. What are you expecting from next week's race? I mean, we go short track racing on the half mile arena. Going to be a different atmosphere there for sure.
Yeah, definitely going to be a different atmosphere. Drivers are going to have a different mentality. My mentality going into Bristol is going to be simply to survive, which was kind of my goal tonight. I definitely didn't have a top 10 car, but I made it work for a top 10 car, in part to some help from, I believe it was the second place driver, ran out of fuel at the end or something, so I managed to eke out a top 10 there. So, take what you can get. And, just Bristol's kind of luck of the draw.
Yeah, that was actually Joe Burchett that ran out of fuel on the final lap. Unlucky for him because he was fighting his way through the field throughout the whole race, and for it to end like that is pretty disappointing for the number 41. Hopefully he can pick it up again next week. Anyway, let's go to our results. And coming home with a win tonight is Tyler Cox, with Joshua Banks coming home in second place. Third place was Todd Cray, getting a podium. He was out for a few weeks, but he's come back tonight and got that podium finish. Brian Littleton comes home fourth. Fifth was Jeff Wubka. Sixth was Michael Travath, and seventh was Lee Granty. Eighth was Dylan Vose. Ninth was Austin Marion, and rounding out the top 10 was Skylar Allen, who we just spoke to. Scott, do you want to do the rest?
Yeah, coming home 11th. Unfortunately, his bad luck continues. He ran out of fuel tonight. The 41 of Joe Burchett. I'm sure we'll see Joe bounce back in the coming weeks, but another tough night. Tough finish here for the 41, being the last car on the lead lap, finishing 11th. Robert Dudley 12th, Stephen Parks 13th, Brandon Coleman 14th, Eric Minch 15th, Craig Hawkins 16th, Robert Hill Jr. finished 17th, Mark Nadeau comes home 18th tonight, Derek Pemberton 19th, Sean Lejeune rounds out the top 20, Carl Hayes comes home 21st. He was involved with that pit road incident with Jeff Schmidt. He comes home 22nd, does Jeff Schmidt. And Jeremy Rigney rides shotgun on this field with 23 as he finished 130 laps down tonight.
Okay, let me just sort this.
Well, Sam, it was a pleasure calling the race again with you tonight here at Texas here on this Friday night of WrestleMania weekend. It was good sharing wrestling pun jabs with you tonight.
Yeah, it was definitely a slobber knocker of a race tonight. As we are coming to our close, so Scott, what are your thoughts on tonight's race and then going on to next week as we go to Bristol?
Well, I think next week will be a difference than tonight, but the last couple nights here at this last night with Southern Motorsports, tonight here at Go Fast Racing. So pretty much the same race, really. A lot of single file action after the first 5 to 10 laps. There's really not a lot of passing after that. Next week, it's going to be a whole different story. There's going to be a whole lot of bumping, banging, passing, cars wrecking. It's going to be more of a WrestleMania like in next weekend because it's going to be lots of carnage on the short track of Bristol.
Absolutely, and I for one am looking forward to Bristol. Bristol always puts on one hell of a show, no matter what cars you run it in. I've seen Indy cars run around there before, and that's just absolute chaos. But we've got the right.
I knew that was coming.
Yeah, I've actually seen what is it, IRO5s go around Bristol, and it was absolute carnage. Anyway, we got the correct cars going around there next week. We're going to be going there 3 times again next week, twice next week because we're not broadcasting the Xfinities for Somo next week, but we will be back here with Somo in the Cup cars at Bristol, and on next Friday with Go Fast Racing. Let's go to our
next
close.
Wednesday we'll be up Gano.
Oh yeah, do you want to do a quick plug for Tap Fuel Racing while we're here?
Well, this coming Wednesday we got. Actually, yeah. I'm sorry, I'm getting a week ahead of myself. Next Wednesday it'll be Kentucky, not Pocono. Pocono is the following week. But yeah, this coming Wednesday night, Top Fuel Racing will be back to racing. We took a week off this past Wednesday. Everybody just kind of needed to recharge the batteries, give everybody a little time to cool off. You know, that mid-season where everybody just kind of like grinding their teeth. Yeah. So we'll be back at it this Wednesday night. Kentucky Speedway. Be giving away a little bit of money, and we're getting close to the halfway point of our season, and we're closing in on the very first ever Top Fuel Racing Indy 500. And if anyone's out there interested in joining the league or running in the Indy 500, just look up Top Fuel Racing. And the Indy 500 itself is going to be a $15 to enter race, and we'll be giving away probably at least a $400 plus race purse that night. So if anyone's interested, look up Top Fuel Racing.
Absolutely, thanks for that, Scott. As we're going to get ourselves going now.
Thank you.
We'll be back tomorrow night with a new league. We have K&N cars which is a new league for which is new for us and exciting to see. But as for tonight, we've had a great race, another great finish, and yeah, definitely looking forward to seeing what comes up next. Sunday night we will not have a broadcast, but we've got to take a night off somehow. But yeah, we will see you again tomorrow night.
Have a good weekend, everybody.